Yo, what's up? Let's get straight to it. New series. All right, so I'm doing an entire series on how to get better at trading futures. If you actually want me to continue this series and build with you to get you to the point where you can be making 1,000 plus every single day and obviously get super comfortable and turn into a professional trader, let me know. I was going to do this with options, but you guys know I switched to trading futures like full time. I don't do anything else because I've been making so much money with it. I just don't even understand why I wasn't doing it sooner, but I'm glad I'm where I'm at now, so who cares how I got here. This is beginner stuff, so if I teach you every day in the cord and you watching this, stop. Do not pay attention to what I say every single day. Doors over there, bro. From a technical standpoint, futures is by far the easiest one to understand. When I was trading options, there's so many things you have to worry about outside of your actual trade. For example, you have to stay on top of the Greeks, which is theta and delta, which I'm sure if you trade, you already know what that is. Expiration date, obviously finding the right contract. A lot of outside technicality that makes it kind of complex initially getting into trading to kind of understand and grasp everything. Futures is like child's play. Buy at this point, sell at this point, no matter how much time's in between, no matter what you're doing, it's going to be the same every single time. It took me like years to grasp that concept with options. I think that's why I've had so much success with futures is because it's so much easier to understand for me. I've only been doing this for about 4 or 5 months, I think, and I have over 1 million in funded accounts. I'm making like 3 to 5K every day. It's fucking light work. So before anything, grasp that buying here and selling here is going to be the same exact amount of money you make every single time, vice versa with a loss. There's no outside factors. Now let's talk about what you're going to trade. With Forex, you're running 2 different currency pairs and sometimes you're trading gold. Options, you're trading any publicly traded stock. Futures is solely ES and NQ, which if you don't know, ES is the S&P 500, which I'm sure you've heard of, and NQ is the NASDAQ, which I'm sure you heard of as well. There are other things you can trade, but every single future trader that I talk to really only trades those. You can see on my watch list, it's literally just ES and NQ. I solely trade NQ. But out of respect, I'll obviously watch ES during the day to make sure, see if everything's going all right. Having only 2 things to trade is really important to me because of the fact now that I'm so comfortable trading NQ because it's the same thing I do every single day. I understand the price action now and it's made it a lot easier to trade. I see things with my own eyes. I don't even have to put on the chart. Trade execution is probably the hardest thing that people really don't talk about. Initially, it's very hard to grasp it emotionally and not kind of freak out when you're getting in and out of trades. Another thing why futures is so simple. Everything revolves around buys and sells. There's no strike price. There's no lot size, anything. It's buys and sells. Obviously, if I want buys, I want to see price go up. And if I want sells, I want to see price go down. Duh. Entering a play, there's only 2 things you can do really: market and limit orders. A market order is I'm going to instantly buy the nearest contract that someone is selling right away. No limit, no anything at all, which can be a really big problem if you're trading something with low volume. Luckily, this is futures and we're trading the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, the 2 most traded things in the world. So when I say you literally have to click buy and sell to get entered, that's all you have to do. So pretty much you're always going to get filled at the current price anyways. So I usually just market buy and sell. You can also limit buy and sell where I select a certain price level like I would do right here. And I would wait till price reaches that point. And when it reaches that point, it'll automatically sell it for me. I would wait for price to come through. It would hit that and it would sell it, which is also good. They both work, by the way. I'm not trying to hate on one. Wherever price is, you're going to get filled at. Pause. A lot of people just say fuck it to the basics and just try to make $1,000 every single day and they end up losing all their money, right? Shocker. You need to learn the foundations of trading first. And it's not hard to understand. People like you taking the time to watch this, which was what, 10 minutes? Like, damn, like watch this shit. I don't want to call myself a professional, but as someone who does this as their like full-time job, I think I have the knowledge to give to you. Just the basic things I do every single day to make sure that you are treating this like a professional man. Real quick, we're going to talk about candles because I know you may be new to this, but it's such an important thing to be able to read candles. That's kind of what my entire strategy is based off of. A majority of them is understanding price action, how price is moving. Let's just talk about green candles really fast, okay? So each of these candles represents a amount of time. I'm on the 1 minute time frame right now. So if you could guess, every single one of these candles represents 1 minute of price. Green candles in specific, every candle has wicks. That's these lines coming off each side of them. No matter the candle, the top of it is going to be the high during that 1 minute. The low of that wick is going to be the low between that 1 minute time frame. So this candle right here, we can obviously see during that 1 minute, because we're on the 1 minute time frame, this was the high, this was the low. Wicks are going to show you the top and bottom. Now this box we have in the middle represents the open and the close during that time frame. So since it's a green candle, meaning price went up during this time, we're going to see the bottom of it is the open of that 1 minute. So at when 1 minute started, boom, this is where it opened up right here. And you can see that because obviously this candle closed at the same level. It started here, moved all the way up to this point, moved all the way down to this point, but ended up closing right here. That is where the top of the candle closed. Makes sense? We'll look at this one right here. We opened up right here. Price shot up all the way up to this point, came all the way down to this point, but ended up closing right here. Now we'll talk about a red candle. Like I just said, the wicks stay the same. This is the high, this is the low. And since it's a red candle, that means price opened up at this point and dropped lower. So you can see during this 1 minute, price opened up at the top of this candle and closed here at the bottom of the body. And then hence the next candle opens up at the same exact level and moves up and down wherever the fuck it wants. This website's called Forex Factory. It's going to show you the news that's going to be released on the day you're trading. You need to check this every morning before market open to see what times you cannot be trading. You cannot be trading during news releases. Obviously, you should know that. My strategy and majority of people's else is based off price action. When you throw a wrench in it like news, there's nothing that price action can do beforehand to change the outcome of the news. You could have the best bearish setup possible and news comes out and fucking Ninja got a low taper fade and the market pumps 500 points. You could just get completely shit on. So obviously news came out at 9:45 today and 10:30. I avoided those times. I traded in between those time frames. Understand the trend of the market. Understanding the trend of the market is very hard to someone who don't watch Steph on YouTube. Look, I trade on the 1 minute, so things can change very quickly. I don't recommend you trade on the 1 or the 2 minute unless you really are experienced doing this. Just look at price real quick on this 1 minute time frame. So you can see in between 30 minutes, we had a huge dump and also a nice pump back through. There's a lot going on in this like 15-minute window. Let's go on the 15-minute time frame and see if you can understand the trend of the market. Go ahead. I wonder what's going to happen next. Guys, you need to trade with the trend of the market. You're not Michael Burry. It's a probability game at some point. Again, no matter what type of strategy you have, you're not going to be able to be 100%. We have strategies to give us that little boost to be as consistent as possible. So through the last day and a half on the 15-minute time frame, obviously, what is more likely? We've pumped 500 points in the last 3 days. What's more likely? We're going to continue that or we're just going to turn around and stop because you took shorts. So it's important that you wait for retests like so. Y'all know I trade supply and demand. I don't want to get too far into it, but you want to have zones where you buy, and obviously if I would have done that, look how well I would have been doing. Another thing I want to jump into on the foundations of everything, because like I said, I want to build off of this slowly with you. I'm not going to get too in depth with it because that's for next video. I want you to be able to watch this video and be able to go and get a futures account and be able to actually take a trade. Have no expectations. Shit, you're probably going to lose. I want to make sure you have the ability to at least understand the process. We're going to talk about discipline really quick. Another thing that I like to do every day, I don't take more than 3 trades a day ever. It's already hard enough to find a consistent strategy. Now try and take 5 trades every day and keep it consistent. No, you need to get your money and get out the market and refresh every single day. You're just increasing the chance that you fail. This is by far a quality over quantity game. And I know you're going to be addicted to this shit when you first start. Everybody is. I still am. There's so many days where I'll make like 5K and I'll be like, all right, one more. And then I'll lose 3K and I'll be like, fuck. And then I'll try to make that back and I'll be back at break even. And it's just like, damn, dude. Let me be an example. No more than 3 trades a day. Don't full port. You're not the Wolf of Wall Street. The more you treat this like a professional, the more you're going to see professional statements. So let's be clear. You're not trading during news. You're only taking less than 3 trades a day. You're not full porting. You're being very disciplined as much as you possibly can be. And you just want to stay consistent. And I don't mean consistent by making money. I mean consistent in your everyday attitude approaching the trading day. Let's just open your eyes to this strategy that I use every single day. I'm up about 3K today just doing it. Now, maybe you've watched my other videos and maybe you've heard me talk about this before. I trade only supply and demand. And I'm sure you heard that in your 7th grade civics class before. And I know you understand the concept of it. Same thing applies to the market. There's levels that can be clearly found where there are immense buying and selling pressure. If you can identify them, you can make a lot of money using them. Before the market opened today, I added this zone in pre-market. This is all-time highs on NQ, meaning that this could be a very strong level because we've never seen higher. You can see that we initially hit right here and you saw how hard we rejected off of it, okay? Now, when price is coming through, I'm not looking too short off of it again because what did I talk about earlier? Staying with the trend. The trend currently, and you know I trade intraday on the 1 minute time frame. So I'm very tunnel vision with my trend. You can see how strongly we broke through this level. Now, what happens when you break through a level very quickly, too fast? Price has to be pulled back to it. And like I said, this is an area where there's immense buying and selling. It's going to get bought up and see higher. We tap into the zone and you can see that we rejected off of it. Look at those wicks. That's where I would be entered into the position, but you would have caught a shit ton of points. I don't know, 66 points, which is, I mean, if you had like 8 minis, that's like $10,000+. So this is proof. You can see right here, this is the same zone. Later in the day, we rejected off that high and we hit that level where there is immense buying pressure and we shot up off it again. Look at that. It's so interesting every single time I see it happen. So you can see I actually traded off of that today and I made like, I think 800 some bucks off this. We ended up breaking through and retesting the level again. I took shorts right here And obviously, you could see how far I could have took it down. I could have took it down to my next level where, what do you fucking know, we stopped and price shot back up. It's very easy. It's a very simple strategy. The hardest part, of course, is finding the levels, being able to identify them. I'm not going to give you all the sauce in this video. You got to like this shit if you want to see this, because if there's one thing that this market is based off of, it's supply and demand. There's a reason why Nvidia is fucking $600, then Spirit Airlines is like $4. That was a good first video. I really hope you learned something. Obviously, if you want to see me continue this and get more in depth, I know a lot of you are a little bit more advanced than that. Especially if you're around me all the time. But like I said, I wanted to get this through just to make sure everyone has the opportunities to start at this level and climb with us. But I appreciate you sticking around nonetheless. If you want to see more of this, I need to see it. Like, let me know. I appreciate it, though. Subscribe, like. I love you. We'll talk later, bro. All right, later.